Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. It's beautiful, getting a bit cooler, and I'm loving it. You know, I just love the seasons. I do live in a place where the seasons change. I just find that's really energizing and just a positive way to, to recognize that change is inevitable in life, but that growth comes from endings. So anyway, it's all good fun. But I just wanted to. Oh, first of all, my tea. I must remember my cup of tea because this is my third cup of tea, I think. This is from Twinings. It's a fresh fruit, fresh and fruity, I think it's called, and it says a assortment of red berries with an infusion of elderberry. And I like elderberry actually. It's a very beautiful plant, lovely little flowers, white flowers in the spring. And anyway, nice tea. So that's my cup of tea. What are you having? Maybe you got coffee. Or maybe you make something more exotic. Maybe you can't drink coffee. Are you one of those people that prefers like a non-caffeinated juice or smoothie? Maybe you eat something really healthy. Anyway, that's my morning tea. But anyway, I want to talk about food today because it's kind of on my mind. I'm really fascinated though by the new kinds of food you can get these days, and so how adventurous you can be with cooking. One of our bloggers, Debbie Hensley, wrote about 7 ways to make eating at home fun. Now, eating at home, of course, is not for everyone, but I think we kind of as children, as family, you got used to and look forward to eating with family and just getting around the table and having conversation and making it an experience. And most kids relied on parents for coming up with cool appetizing meals. My boys unfortunately didn't have that opportunity because as I've mentioned before, I think a tuna melt was about the extent of my cooking expertise, and they were great, and we did have fun cooking. There were times, there were moments when I got inspired, but now since we don't have our children around us perhaps so much, or our grandkids maybe, we can cook at home for fun. And Debbie talks about 7 different ways to do this, and I love this article. I really got inspired by it, and I've actually over the last 5 or 6 years started to get into cooking. And when I went to Bali, for example, I took several cooking classes and really got an appreciation for spices and how to really make simple things taste and look gorgeous and beautiful. And of course, there are some challenges that we get as we get older with food intolerance and nutritional concerns, and we just want to live healthy, positive lives. And food is what makes us. I mean, what we put inside of us is who we are. So anyway, cooking at home is fun is not a phrase I ever thought I'd be saying, but here I am, and I want to share with you what Debbie says: 7 ways. First thing, find new recipes. There's so many different ways you can do things these days, and lovely cooking shows on television to sort of inspire you. There's lots of magazines too. And even if you don't get paper magazines online, there's just so much cool visual delight that you can copy and follow. Good Housekeeping is a magazine I used to always get, and I loved it just because it was so inspiring and the photography looked brilliant. And some of the stuff is really, really easy. I made some turmeric bowls the other day, and it's just with turmeric and almond powder and coconut oil, a few other things. You kind of make a paste like a cookie dough, then you just roll it up and snack on them, and they're really good. No big deal, but it was visually fun to make and eat. Chef's Table is one of the Netflix films that I watch. Really love that show. It's really the story about people who cook rather than being the food, but it all intermingles. It's a gorgeous film. And of course, Pinterest. You can't go wrong with visual delights on Pinterest. It's an amazing place. And you can, if you want coconut milk recipes or gluten-free recipes, Pinterest has got thousands of ideas, hundreds of recipes. Now, I just found a recipe the other day, just browsing, for salted caramel cookies. Oh my gosh. I haven't made them. Thank goodness I haven't made them because I would have eaten them all. But this is kind of thing. Visually, you can get turned on by it, and it's fun. And they're healthy options too. Try new foods. My gosh, when I was a kid, it was like potatoes and, I don't know, carrots, I guess, maybe turnips or parsnips now and again. But now you've got, bok choy and spinach and zucchini and broccoli, all these amazing beet, things cabbage that you never really thought about when you were a kid as being healthy and good for you. Now you can play with them, try new foods. You can explore new cuisines. And I mentioned Bali. Bali, especially Ubud, has got so much amazing food. I think it's got a restaurant for every possible, nationality, from Cuban to Lebanese to Moroccan to French, Italian, everything. And but it's not just in Bali. I mean, in your own town now, you'll see that there are restaurants that serve Thai foods, very common, Indian, of course, but unusual things too, like sushi, Japanese food, Chinese. Lots and lots of choice. And food sometimes can be as good as traveling. It's just fun to try new things, pretend you're somewhere else, dress up, have a good time. Now, you can also buy unusual foods. Now, there's been a lot of discussion about Japanese foods and how healthy they are. They have the highest rate of people living to be over 100 of any place in the world. And they eat a lot of seafood and miso soup, for example, tahini, all these amazing things. And of course, you've got products that you never knew you needed, like chia seeds. And now I know I pronounce this wrong every time I say it. Is it quinoa? Quinoa. It's spelled to me quinoa, but quinoa, I think it's pronounced. Anyway, I'm sure you're all going to correct me and help me spell or pronounce it. But turmeric is a spice. I mentioned I love turmeric, and I'll put it in my drinks. Also, like I mentioned, these little bowls. Who ever heard of turmeric, curcuma, when we were kids? Wild mushrooms, olive oils in all kinds of flavors, sage, balsamic from the remote places of the world. I mean, if you go into Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, if you live in the States, honestly, you could stay there hours looking at all these amazingly unusual and interesting and very, very tasty new products. So that's something else to look for, new products and unusual products. New techniques, how to. As I mentioned earlier, there's lots of competitive cooking shows where you get people that, either don't know how to cook, or people that, celebrities are kind of fun, and they get 5 ingredients and it's like, make a dessert. And it's so fun. It's really fun to watch them do that and learn from it, how to make unusual breads, how to really make do and take a few ingredients and create magic. How to be bold. Bold with cooking is fun with cooking. And I'm sure that a lot of you have got your own sort of special shows that you watch. I'd love you to share them with us. It'd be great to know. Finally, I think it's important to remember, Debbie says, that there's old favorites. Just foods that we had as a kid, comfort foods, things that family favorites that we've got those recipes for. I have a carrot cake recipe that, I don't know, the paper's so old now I can hardly read the words on it, but all I remember, because I know it by heart, is it's got pineapple in it, which made it so good. Secret recipe for carrot cake. But anyway, there's favorites that that have memories associated with them. For the UK ladies, we've got like shepherd's pie, Christmas pudding at the end of the year. Oh my gosh, would go into Waitrose or Marks and Spencer's and just buy the tiny ones, with that beautiful clotted cream and brandy sauce and all this cool stuff. But what are some of your favorites? I really love to know. I mean, chili, for example. I was just making a look at my notes here. When I lived in Texas, they had the most amazing 5-ingredient chili. I can't remember all of it, but it was really, really good. Old favorites. So I think Debbie's advice here is, just let go of the quest for perfection. Don't try to be the perfect chef, the perfect cook. Just grab a fun vintage apron, put it on, have fun. Hey, as she says, if it's edible, it's a success. And that's what I kept telling my kids all their lives. Guys, it's edible. It's not poison. But just seriously, if it's edible, it's a success. Have fun with it and enjoy cooking at home. So I would love to know, what are some of the favorite foods that you cook at home? Share us in the comment section below, and we'll have fun just comparing notes. Whatever you're eating today, go easy, eat well. Positive aging is our mantra. Take very good care of yourselves. And I'll see you all back again here very soon. Bye-bye for now.